things first, now joined by Super Bowl champ Plaxico Burress. Welcome to the show, Plaxico.
How's everybody doing?
My dog. That's my dog.
How's everybody doing this morning, man? Nobody wants to work the day after Thanksgiving? What's going on?
They're lazy.
Just us.
Turkey coma.
We never sleep. All right, Plaxico, let's dive into the biggest game of the weekend. It's the 10-1 49ers against the 9-2 Baltimore Ravens. It's Sunday. It's on Fox. Both teams boasting their most valued weapons. For the Ravens, Lamar Jackson now tied for the most passing touchdowns in the NFL, and he's 9th in the league in rushing yards. For the Niners, they're holding opponents to less than 250 yards per game. That is best in the NFL. But how will that defense stop the unstoppable Lamar Jackson? Here's San Francisco's head coach, Kyle Shanahan.
He's just different in that he's just he's a running back when he has the ball. You know, with the other two guys, they can make a lot of plays with their legs and stuff, but eventually they're going to slide and things like that. This guy, he is a running back out there and a quarterback when he's throwing, but you know, he can run hard. You got to bring him down. He can take the hits, and he also can deliver them.
It's a big compliment to Lamar Jackson. The other two guys, obviously Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson, that he's referring to there. So, Plaxico, who do you think has the edge, Lamar or this San Francisco 49ers defense?
I think Lamar Jackson has the edge because he's going to keep the defense on the toes. This offense is really the first time that some of these defensive coordinators are seeing this offense. So, you know, they have to, on defense, you can't really scheme it. You have to go out and react because when you're saying it for the first time, it's explosive,
right?
And nobody has really found out a way to contain him. He's basically a matchup nightmare for defenses because what he does on defense is if the offense brings in 2 tight ends or 3 tight ends, usually the defense stays in base.
Right.
So if you stay in base and he gets out on the edge, then you don't have enough guys that are fast enough to contain him, and you know he's just a matchup nightmare.
I feel like most people associate you and you won your championship with the Giants, but you were 13 on a 13-3 Steeler team with Cordell Stewart, right?
Which was probably the best team I ever played on.
Okay. So how much of what you see the Ravens doing with Lamar reminds you of what you guys were doing a little over a decade ago in that offense and how much problems that presented defenses?
Well, it's really a different kind of style of offense because I played in the I formation offense and you had Jerome Bettis in the backfield and you knew that he was getting the ball 30 times. So this offense is nothing like the Pittsburgh Steelers when I played in 02. You know, you just have to kind of figure out on the fly. I think the best way to contain this offense and Lamar Jackson is basically like cover 2. And if he gets out on the edge, at least you have some corners that can come up and make some plays. But if you play man-to-man on him and the defensive backs turn their back to the wide receivers and he gets out of the pocket, before the defense recognizes it, he's 20, 30 yards downfield.
Yep.
The only thing they can do is take away the rush lanes and the throwing lanes in the middle. When we used to play Michael Vick, what we used to do is we was always, you know, give him a predictable out. Right, so we would take all our linemen, stuff them in inside gaps, flush them to one side where we can get our athletes knowing where he's going. Right. The problem is if you just go up the field, he can come step through the lane with 4 men rushing. You know, you got 4 men rushing. They got 2 tight ends on the line, so now they have 6 lanes and 6 options for him to figure out where he's going to go. So if you have a spy and the spy is on the left side, he can exit out of the right side. So the spy isn't even helping. The problem is, like, remember when the Wildcat came and took over the NFL, and nobody knew how to respond to it because for the first time, it was 11 on 11. Usually when you go against a team, it's 11 on 10 because the quarterback hands the ball off and he's dead for the play. But now they've come with so many different formations. They got gun pistol, you know, jumbo package, and they're spreading them out. And what makes it a problem is their tight ends are viable receivers. They're great receivers. So if you come out there like Plex said with this heavy package, they'll break the formation. So now you got a linebacker or a safety one-on-one on an island with a pass-catching tight end. And Lamar Jackson has improved himself since what we saw the Chargers do to him last year, meaning that he's more accurate. And that man right there, Hollywood Brown, has really made him dynamic because you have to keep a safety damn near over the top of him because he stretches the field and opens the entire playing field open.
Listen, where I'll give the Ravens immense credit is not only did they go all in on Lamar despite the rough playoff game, but they built their team with his exact skill set in mind. So not only getting Mark Ingram, but tight ends that they know can block and be big pass catchers instead of targeting, for example, Odell. You know what I mean?
Nope.
We need a number. We need a big.
Don't fit our style.
It doesn't fit exactly what they're trying to do, even if Odell is a higher level player than the guys they brought in because of what the versatility the tight ends add. So and that's been a huge part of their success and Lamar's success thus far this season. The reason I think San Francisco has the edge is because San Francisco can create pressure with just those 4 guys.
See, but here's the problem. Like when you say that, just like when Michael Vick was in the league, he holds your backside defensive end. Yeah. He can't flatten out because if he pull it, it's barbecue chicken. And also, not only does he hold the backside defensive end, he holds the backside linebacker. Because the backside linebacker, if he keeps it, you don't want to put one defensive end in space. He'll circle the defense, and when he gets that, it's explosive offense. See, the problem is you have to predict and say, and the best chance they have is like the Ravens did Kaepernick in the Super Bowl. Hit him every play. We're going to give up big yardage just to make sure it's not a home run and see when we get him down. I'm not saying do nothing dirty, but make sure you land. If you got to get a couple body weight penalties, then take the body weight penalties. But we're gonna make him have to play left-handed.
How do you game plan Lamar more, for his throwing or for his running?
I think you have to go out and defend both, because he's a quarterback first, and he makes that statement week in and week out. He's looking to throw the football.
He wants to throw the football.
He wants to throw the football. He wants to throw the football. In the game of last week against the Chargers,
against the Rams.
Against the Rams. I saw last week a few times that they were trying to spy him with the middle linebacker, and what that does is when Lamar's in the pocket and he's not getting out of the pocket, now you lose a man in coverage. So now if you're in a 4-man front, you only got 6 guys in coverage, and you got a middle linebacker just standing in space. And
killing grass. We call it killing grass.
And he's just completing the ball over the middle for a touchdown.
And spying Lamar, especially with the linebacker, has been a fool's errand all year for the reasons you're talking about, the limitations in coverage, but also because he's a better athlete than whoever the hell your middle linebacker is.
Right.
He's going to be faster than him. He's exactly right. So that's just a wasted body. Like that is not there are certain mobile quarterbacks that spying makes a lot of sense with. You could argue, hell, the guy we saw yesterday against the Cowboys, Josh Allen. Yeah. Josh Allen's a good athlete, but your middle linebacker, if he's a good athlete, should be able to match speed with him.
Right.
So spying him makes sense. Spying Lamar is not going to be the way to beat him.
It makes no sense.
And I agree with you. He does want to throw the ball. And he has improved immensely throwing the football. But where he terrifies teams right now is with his legs and that Ravens running game, which opens up the passing game. What's incumbent upon the Niners is taking that away first. And if he beats you the way he beat Miami in week 1 by throwing the ball all over the field, then you tip your cap. If he can throw the ball like that against a really good defense, then there is no answer for him right now.
You know what terrifies me? Jimmy G throwing into tight windows against that elite defense that have a bunch of ball hawks that not only when they get it in their hands, they taking it to the house, making house calls.
I also think you got to give the offensive line from Baltimore a lot of credit, because I don't think we've seen the offensive line neutralize Aaron Donald the way that they did. I mean, they basically neutralized Aaron Donald, and they had the inline on the line of scrimmage, Clay Matthews in the Matrix. He didn't know what was going on out there.
Well, they will have their work cut out for him.
Yeah. Give me the red pill. I just want to go back to the virtual world.
All right, Flex, we'll see you a little bit later in the show. Take a break. Coming up, can Baker and the Browns make it 4 in a row on Sunday against Pittsburgh? Probably not.
Flex.
That's next on First Things First.
What?